Good day, people of the internet. This is Kyoji, and I'm doing this video on my judge career. So I decided, hey, I want to become a judge. Um, and that was back around late 2010, early 2011. A lot of people in my area were becoming judges. So I'm like, hey, I could do that too. So um, it was a lot easier now when I actually became a judge versus the time I actually started thinking about becoming a judge, because between that time they actually lessened the prerequisites to become a judge. Um, they wanted Wizards wanted to make sure that every store had a judge, so they actually relabeled judges at the time. L1s were primarily store level judges, which was the thing I wanted to do. So the thing that actually kicked me into working harder for it was after my mother passed away. Um, my boss found out about it. She's like, Matt, just take the week off, come back on Monday. Don't worry about your shifts. We got you covered. And during that week, I went to Oakland with my friend to my first judge conference. It's a bunch of seminars about judges helping other judges become better judges. That's what I could summarize a judge conference as. So I went through the seminar. I wasn't given a judge packet of foils because I wasn't a judge. So my friend was like, "Here, you play this in EDH. Here, have it." He's like, "You went through and earned this," and he gave me the mana crypt that was in that packet. So, for a couple of years after that, I did a bunch of regular REL events between my main and my secondary LGS, and a handful of competitive REL events in the Sacramento area. So, um, which leads up into my biggest event that I've ever worked at, which is Grand Prix Vegas 2013. The first Modern Master event. All I could tell you is that it was a big train wreck all the way up until round one started. Partly because the product for the event didn't even show up until the Friday. And granted, like, it was the largest Magic event at the time at 4,500 players. My regional coordinator was like, I need everybody. Like, asked my friend, like, hey, I need like 10 more bodies. Can you get 10 more bodies? He's like, I got at least 2. So me and my friend Alex were a couple of the level 1 judges at a Grand Prix. Normally at Grand Prix, if you're an L1, you're on your way to become L2, and you're probably actually taking your test for it there. So at that event, I decided that I need to focus on like my job that actually pays me money. I need to either progress in that job, or I need to actually get a new job, which eventually happened, but I wish I got my current job back then. But all in all, I still judged. I was the community leader, what some people would call me, but there were a lot of people who looked up to me. They asked me judge questions all the time. But yeah, I did stuff in my LGSs and pre-releases at my secondary one, since my primary one shut down because reasons. And so Um, Back in 2016, I saw an article in a private Facebook group of mine saying, "Hey, we got a new game store opening up." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we haven't had a good one here in 3 years. Let's look into it." So I I contacted the owners. It's a mother-daughter operation, and um, we talked about like a game plan, like what we're going to be doing, steps to get from where we are to where we are now. I found some friends of mine to work for them. She really wanted to just hire me, and I'm like, I work 50 hours a week at my job. I can't work for you. So just, and I was on call at the time, so I'm like, I don't even know if I could be here at the times you want me to be here, so I can't. So, but store was a booming success. The other store in our town is crap. So, um, within 10 months, they actually moved to a new location so they could actually have room for everyone. So, it was great. I love my LGS. I love the people that are there. So, I judged all the pre-releases there all the way through until Dominaria, which I found out I was excluded because two of the employees that became judges ended up working all the events, and they didn't. No one asked me if I wanted to do one, and instead of getting mad or angry at anyone about it, I took a step back and I'm like, maybe this is my time. I could just leave the program. So I decided at that point, like, I'm gonna stop being a judge. Um, so I contacted my regional coordinator. She is a really great person, and she I asked her like, what do I need to do? Because I know I could lapse, but I don't want to get tempted to get back in like 10 or 11 months into it. So um, she asked me, hey, okay, just let me know when you want to do it. So probably as of the posting of this video, I'm no longer a judge. It was a good 7-year run. I met a lot of good friends through the judge community, the Magic community, but the simplest answer I could say is that I just don't have time to be a judge anymore. I work for Amtrak. I work 50 hours a week on my current regular. I am not home literally half of the week, so I just don't have the time to put the effort into the things that I would prefer to do if I were to stay a judge. And I just simply can't do it anymore. So, last thing I want to talk about is just the program in general. It's gotten a lot better since I started. We have better compensation. Um, it's always been well organized. It's peers reviewing peers. Um, if you want to become a judge, don't hesitate. Talk to your local game store, your local judge, a judge at an event that's in your area, preferably. But ask them what you need to learn, and they'll help you take the steps into it. If you're going to do it just to get the foils, don't. They've changed that program since I started. You don't just get promos because you worked in an event. It doesn't work that way anymore. If you want to do it because you want to become a better Magic player, it is acceptable, but I think they would prefer you to be a judge in the long run rather than being able to outplay your opponent because you know more of the rules. If you want to know more of the rules, just read the rules. And if you can, at events, at no matter how big or small it is, if it's your Friday Night Magic or your the biggest Grand Prix you've ever gone to, thank the judge. Thank the judges for what they do. They do a lot more work behind the scenes than you actually see. It's more than just answering your judge call about how does fight work with First Strike. Like, it's more than just that. They do a lot more work behind the scenes. A lot of things that I don't really want to get into this video, but they do a lot more work. Thank your judges. Help them out if you're able to, but just they do a lot more work and probably don't get enough compensation for it. Sheldon Menery said at one point, from all the work that he did through the judge program versus what he actually got, he probably averaged everything out to about 4 cents an hour. So yeah, that's my video of my 7 years of being a judge, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Later.